Hello, Crochet Fam. So today I come to you with the Twisted Retro. Now I'm gonna call it the Twisted Retro because in the back, the granny square. Hold up, wait a minute. Let's get the hair out the way. It's totally twisted into a diamond. Um, this is my favorite. I love this thing. So what we got going on here is just three large granny squares, all the same size, put together in diamond formation, and poof, the best thing you ever put on your body. So this right here is the, I'm gonna say medium, large, and extra large size, because you see it comes all the way down to my wrist. So for a medium, it's gonna pretty much flow the same way. For extra large, it might be a little bit further up. But this is simple. I'm gonna go to the table and I'm gonna show you guys how to make a extra small or a small. And in between all of these numbers, you'll be able to make one of these. Very simple. If you know how to make a granny square, then this is a nice, easy, simple Ruana to make for yourself. So this one was done with 24. There are 24 rounds in this granny square. When we go to the table, we'll be doing 19. But yeah, we're just gonna get right into it because I can't keep looking at it. I love the way it flows. I love the way it wears. By the way, this one was made with love, red heart love. I had all this extra love black hanging around, and the colorful colors are just some random scrap yarn that I had just sitting around. So the with love, it feels really, really soft and good. And I could talk about this thing for days. So let me stop. Let's go to the table. Let's make this. And I'm also going to show you how to possibly make it with the hood. So if you want a hood, I'm going to show you how to put a hood on this thing too. Okay. Okay, so today, Crochet Fam, I'm using Burnett Super Value yarn. And I'm using Fern, the color Fern, the color Teal Heather, and I'm basically almost used all of this, the Denim Heather. Okay, and this yarn, so we can see, is recommended to use a 5 millimeter hook, but today we will be using a 6. It is a medium worsted weight 4 yarn, and there's approximately 426 yards of this. Now, I am using 3 of them, and you see the blue. I used most of that. These are fresh ones, so didn't pay that amount. I used a lot of it. But let's get right into it. I know a lot of people like to ask me how much yarn did you use. I'll be honest with this one. I'm not exactly sure. So with this piece right here, we're starting with making granny squares, okay? And we're gonna need 3 of the exact same size pieces for this. Now, this one is a size extra small or a small that we're making today. And there are 19 rows in this. So if you're making a small or extra small, you're going to have to do 19 rows for each of your panels, and you need 3 of these. For the medium, large, and I'm going to say extra large, I would suggest to do the one that like you saw me earlier, and in that one is 22 rows. Uh, so you would have 22 rows in your large granny square, and again you need 3 pieces the exact same size in order to do this. This is a very simple build once you have that. So again, medium, large, and extra large, it will be 22 rows of granny squares, and for the extra small to small, this is the amount that you would use, and that is 19. So once we have, let me show you here, once we have all 3 of these pieces, we're just going to start building them. But I want to show you, I'm going to pull in one of our colors here, pull in this one. I want to show you how I'm making the granny square, okay? Because I'm doing it slightly different than from what I normally do. Normally I don't put any chains in between, but except for in my corners, but here we're putting a chain in between each cluster of 3. So I'm just going to do a couple rows just to show you exactly what I mean, and that way, you know, you can follow suit and make the same type. So again, I'm using a 6mm hook for this piece because I kind of want it loose. So I'm going to put my yarn on my hook, and I'm crocheting up 3, 1, 2, and 3. So I'm chaining up 3. Now I'm going to go inside of this hole, and I'm going to slip stitch. Now I have a little circle here in between that. Now I'm going to chain up 1, 2, and 3. I'm yarning over, and into this hole I'm going to put 2 double crochets right into the hole that we created. Now the chain 3 that we started with, that chain 3 is going to stand as a double, okay? Chain 1. Now we will put 3 more double crochets into that same exact hole. So we'll go in there, 1, 2, and 3. And we're going to chain 1. Now we're going back into the same hole, and we're going to put 3 more double crochets. 1, 2, and 3, and chain 1. Now we're going right back into the same hole and putting 3 more. 1, 2, and 3. And again, chain 1. Now we're going to slip stitch into the top of the chain 3 that we started with. So we're going to go through the top of the chain 3 and slip stitch in order to close that. And that is our first round. Now we're going to go up chain 3. Now we're going right back into this space right here, because this chain 3 stands for double. We're going back in here and putting 2 more doubles. 1 and 2. Now this is our first corner. We'll complete this corner when we come all the way back around. We're going to place a chain 1, and we're going to go into our next space in between our clusters, and that's going to be another corner. And we're going to go in there and make 3 double crochets into that space. And we're going to chain 1. Now we're going back into that same space, and we're going to put 3 more double crochets. 1, 2, and 3, and chain 1. Now our next space is another corner. We're going to go in there and put 3 double crochets. And 3, and chain 1. Now into our next space right here, in our same space right here, we're going to go back in and put 3 more double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. and chain 1. So as you notice, after every cluster of 3, we are putting a chain in between each cluster. So we're going to go into our last corner right here, and going to put a cluster of 3. Chain 1 and back into the same hole, and put 3 doubles, or a cluster of 3. And chain 1. Now, I told you we'd come back around to the same corner that we begin with. We just have to now go in there and put a cluster of 3, or 3 doubles. 1, 2, and 3. Chain 1. And the chain 3 that we started with, you'll go into the top, come back through and slip stitch. All right, and this is how we're going to be making this. We're going to keep going up, chain 3. We're going back into the same corner right here, and we're going to put 2 more double crochets, because the chain 3 again stands as a double crochet. Chain 1. Now we're going into this space in between those clusters, and we're going to put another cluster of 3. And chain 1. Now we have a corner. Now all of our corners look like this: 3 double crochets, chain 1 space, 3 double crochets. So when you come to your already existing corners, you want to place another corner into that corner. Okay. Chain 1. Put it there. That's me. Yeah, put it there and close the door. I'm sorry. I left the door open because I knew you was coming, and I figured I'll pause. He'll grab it out of. Thank you. Now we're going to go back into this space and put another cluster of 3. And chain 1. So I think you get it now. In between every cluster of 3, there will be a cluster of 3. Two and 3. And chain 1. And every corner will go on like the corner before it. A cluster of 3. Chain 1 and another cluster of 3, all into that same space, only for the corners. Chain 1, and again every space in between the clusters, call them the pocket spaces, we'll get another cluster. So we're doing 3 doubles and chain 1. So this is how we're going to be making our granny squares for this project. A chain space in between each cluster, and if you, depending on what size it is, it'll depend on how many times you do this row, these rows. So we're gonna move right on, because this really is a quick and simple. I made this one to be very, very simplistic. I wanted everybody to be able to make this. So I wanted this to be very simplistic. Okay, so here we have one of our large squares. And you see I changed colors on mine. So I want you to take it and make it a diamond. Okay, So we're going to take our diamond, and I'm going to show you the tip. That way you really see what's going on. And we're going to have one of our pieces, and we're going to join that here. And then we're going to have one of our pieces and join that here. So with the 3 pieces, you're going to have one diamond here, and then one we're going to join along here, and the next one we're going to join along here. Now I'm going to show you how to join one side. It's very simple. Now we'll make sure that your first diamond piece has the right side facing you. Okay, so this is the right side of my piece. I want that facing me. Now I'm getting another piece, so this is another one, and what I want to do is turn this and make it sit on here with the wrong side. Now this is the wrong side. I want the wrong side now facing me, so both of the right sides are facing each other. It's very, very simple. So now what we're going to do is we're going to join from here all the way to the end of that corner. We're going to go from corner to corner just on one end. So I'm going to show you how we're going to start that. And I just do simple single crochets in order to get my joints going. All right. So I want to use the same yarn as your outside color. So whatever your outside color is, that's the same color you want to use. And I'm going to place my yarn on my needle, my hook, and I'm just going to, and I mind you, I have corner to corner. So I'm in the top corner, and the piece on the bottom, I'm in the bottom corner. And I want to just single crochet this on like that. Okay, so now you see we have clusters. We have clusters here in the front, we have clusters in the back. The way we're joining is just single crochet all the way down this line. Now you see I'm putting my fingers in the corner and in between this cluster. All we're going to do is match the first double crochet in that cluster with the first double crochet in the cluster behind it and make a single crochet. So we're going to match the second double crochet in this cluster with the second double crochet in the cluster behind. And again, the same thing with the third and the third one. We want to match them both. Now with the chain one space, you're going to go right in between in this space and put a single crochet there. So let's do the next one again. So we're matching the front one and this first one in this cluster with the same one in the back and making a single crochet. The same thing with the second. We want to put them both together and make a single crochet, and the same thing with the third. We're matching them together and making a single crochet, and the chain one space is going with both of them, grabbing them together, and we make a single crochet. And this is a simple join, and this is how we're going to join this whole piece. Now if you don't want to join your whole piece and you with the hook, and you rather use a darning needle, feel free to do so. Yeah. Just make sure you're just working through the tops and matching and making sure it stays matched up. So I'm going to go all the way to the end just like this, matching up my clusters as we go. They both of your pieces, well, all three of your pieces should be the exact same size, made with the exact same needle. So this should not be, it should all match up. If there's a difficulty where something's not matching up, then just check your pieces and make sure they are the same. And that if I'm working on the first cluster, then I work each one together. If I'm working on the second, wherever I am in the front is where I should be in the back, and just joining all the way down the line. So work from one corner all the way up to the next corner, and then we're going to cut our yarn off there. So I'll see you back when we get right here. Okay, so as soon as I get to the corner here, I'm going to go in both corners, make my last single crochet, and I'm going to pull my yarn through, and then I'm going to cut it. Now when I open this part up, you see my join is here. Okay, I'm going to take my next piece, my last piece. I'm going to make sure that this is on the wrong side, so both of the front sides are facing. And okay, so I have already placed one here, so now I want to do this area here. Okay, this is the joint area. We've got one here and we've got one here, so now we want to put one right here. So we're gonna match that up with the corner from our first one with this. So now that we have this one joint, we want to now join from this tip, this corner, all the way to this corner. Okay, so I'm going to start from the actual corner and get my yarn on here. We're going to add it on with the corner and go back in and put a single crochet, and we're going to work this the same way. Whatever we're doing in the front, we want to make sure we're doing in the back. We're at the same exact place. So I'm at the second cluster and the second double crochet in that cluster, so I want to be at the second one and the one in the back, and I'm on the third one in the front, so I want to be on the third one in the back. And my chain one space, I want to go through both of them, and I'm on the first in that cluster, so I want to be on the first one in the back, and on the second one here, so I want to be on the second one in the back, and the third single crochet, and the chain one space, single crochet. So we're gonna keep going all the way down till we get to this corner, just down this first this line, and then this piece is totally put together. Okay, and so as soon as we get to the corner, we want to do the corners together and pull our yarn through and cut. Let's go back to where we started. We started here. So now when we open this up, you see we have our diamond, the first one we started with, and now we've placed a panel here and a panel here. And the one that I wore earlier, that was it. That was all I did. So if you like that one, this is meant to be a simple piece. That is it. So you now have your Rona, which is why I call it Twisted Rona, because Granny Square is kind of twisted. You have your Twisted Rona. But I'm not going to stop there. I'm going to give you something else, another option. Because this piece is so simple, it just leaves space for being able to do more things to it. So we want to look at hoods, just in case you would like to put a hood on yours. I'm going to tell you the granny square that you need for that. So I have a 10 that we make it in the same way we made our other one. And we did 10 rows here. And you need 2 panels for that. Okay. So you just need 10 rows. And in my opinion, this works for all the sizes. So if you want more done to your hood, you can always put them together, which I'm about to show you how to do. Front facing here, the wrong side here. So make sure the right sides, both of the right sides are facing each other. And we're just going to join this from this corner to this corner, corner to corner. And that's it, just how we have done with the other pieces. So we're just going corner to corner. So again, these are 10 rows in each one. And if you want to make it larger, once we have joined this on, then you can add extra rows. And I will show you where. I actually, when I first made it, I made it with the 2 extra rows. And even for me, I kind of like it. It makes it a baggier hood. But definitely for the small and extra small, I will not be adding those on. But I will show you how to do it. So we're the one before our corner. And once we get to our corner, we're going to go in to both of the corners. Pull our yarn through. So we went from corner to corner. So when we open this up, we should have one join. Now I'm going to turn this sideways. This is where we would add, if you wanted to add more, you would just add from here to here about 2 rows, okay? Because this is going to be, this is the top part of your head. This portion right here would be what's around your neck, either or. So you would put 2 more rows here. So you would just start in this corner and work your cluster of 3s back and forth for 2 rows if you wanted to add more height to your hood. And this is for the height of your hood, okay? from your neck to your head. And matter of fact, I'm gonna give you a quick measurement just so you can know um, what that height is. I have 13 inches, okay? Well, sorry, no, about 14 inches from your neck to your top of your head. So I believe that's good. Now what we want to do with our hood, I'm going to set this aside for a second. We're going to bring back up our piece. Okay, so now we brought our piece back on the table and we look at it. We make sure we have it on the wrong side. You can tell it's the wrong side because you can see your join areas, okay? Now we're going to bring in our hood, and we're going to make sure our hood as well is on its wrong side, and you can tell it is because you can see the join. Okay. Now, where the middle granny square is, you have joined this corner with this corner and this corner with this corner, and you can tell with this little line right here, okay? This marks the center of your Ruana, okay? This is the center. So for your hood, the center is where this joint is. Now where this joint is, you have a corner here and you have a corner here. There's a corner and there's a corner. Both of these corners will lock onto this piece, just so we're clear on that. So this corner will start on this centerpiece and this corner will start on this centerpiece, okay? Everything else is pretty much really going to be simple. So I'm just going to do this side, okay? And then we'll do this side because I want to make sure you understand it completely. So we have our center here. We're literally putting this down just like that, okay? We're going to put it and work this from the center that we just established as the center all the way until we have reached and attached all the way to the end. Now you want to make sure where you end over here is the same place you're going to end over here. So if you end on the 8th one here, then you want to end on the 8th one here. So I'm going to jump right into it. I'm putting my hook here and I'm going to make sure I get my first corner here. And we're just going to go down this side. So let me get my yarn on my hook. Add it on and I'm going back in, slip in my single crochet. Now one thing you must know, it is not going to be a join like you joined the other pieces, because we don't have two identical pieces trying to join them. So I'm going to go in my next space on the bottom, which would be a corner space, and up here it's going to be the chain, not the chain one, the first double crochet in that cluster. So where you are at the front on one piece is not going to be where you are on the other. The most important thing is to follow the pieces the same all the way down. So if I'm here in the next stitch, then make sure I'm in the next stitch, which is the chain one space. So say in the front I am in the 3rd cluster, but in the back I am on the 1st cluster. And in the front, I'm on a chain 1 space, but in the back, I'm on the second double. And just like that, you're just going to make sure you're not matching up the front and back to be identical, the same spot. You're here. No, you just want to make sure you're going to the next stitch. So I'm going from this stitch to this stitch to this stitch. The chain 1 space is a stitch, this, and in the back I'm doing the same thing. I'm going from this stitch to this stitch, chain 1 space, this, and all the way down. Okay. Well, not all the way down, just until you have gotten the corner on your hood. Once the corner of your hood is placed, then you're done. Now, if you are using a darning needle and you are sewing this on, then obviously you're just going like that and you're just sewing it down until you have your hood all the way, have it on from here to here. So that's it. So I'm just going to go down this line until I get to the corner. So I've gotten all the way to the corner on my hood, and I'm simply cut my yarn and pull through, pull up. So that means we have our first side attached. Now we're going to come, starting again, we're at the center. So we're going to come and put our needle back through the center here and on the other side of our join, which is a corner, and we're going to work from here all the way to we get the corner of our hood attached on. Now, whatever one you ended with here, and the same on the other side. Let's see, I have made it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've made it to 9. I'm working in the chain space after 9, so I want to make sure I get to the same place over here. Okay, so no matter what your number of clusters where you go down on the other side, make sure you do the same thing here. Now, so I can work this way, I'm gonna have to spin my piece around. So I can go in the direction I want to go in. Have my yarn on. And now I'm going to go all the way down this side, matching stitches. This stitch for that stitch. And again, it might not be perfectly paired up with what's going on in the back, but I'm in the next stitch here, so I'm gonna go to the next stitch in the back. Alright, so I made sure that I got to the other side and I ended in the same place as the other side. Now, flipping mine back around so I have my diamond part facing me. Alright, so our hood here is completely attached on. Okay, it's completely attached on. So now what we want to do is, mind you, this is the wrong side. We want to fold those two pieces from our hood. Just fold it. Because now what we want to do is close the top of our hood. Now this one, of course, this matches. So as we go down this line, everything should match all the way down this line. Okay, so we're working at the top of our hood, and we're going to close just that part out where the top of our head is going to go. I'm going to start here and work my way out. So I'm going to work in the corner by where the two are joined. Add my yarn in, and this is the exact same area. Like I said, if you wanted to add more height to your hood, this is where that is getting added. Alright, so everything matches up here. So if I'm in the first one in that cluster, then I want to be the same in the back, and the same for the second and the third, with the third in the back. And the chain one spaces. Now everything matches back up. So we're going right down this line to close off the top of the hood. All right, as soon as you get to the corner, cut your yarn and pull it through. Now I think we can finally turn our work on the right side. So we have our hood. Let's go ahead and pull our hood to the right side. Now your piece is really done. So if you have decided to put the hood on, or if you have not decided to put the hood on and you're just going with the plain piece like mine, then that's done. Again, it's meant to be a very simple piece. If you have decided to put the hood on, then technically you're done. But for those who like a little bit extra pizzazz, and it's like it's not done because there's no border, I'm gonna show you how to put a simple border on this. Now again, I mean for this to go out just like this, just simple throw on, I'm done. I mean for it to go out like this with no border on it. But I know even me, I'm going to play around with it and put a border on it. So when you see mine with a border, or one or two of mine with borders, I want you to already know how to achieve that for yourself. So we're going to start anywhere, literally anywhere. But I'm going to turn mine on the back side. I'm going to work from the back, that first diamond that we put on here. But again, anywhere, twisting and turning this thing around. Woo. Okay, so this is the very bottom of the first one, the center granny square or diamond shape. This is the very bottom of it. So My blue is looking kind of thin. I'm gonna see. Yeah, I'm gonna try to make it around with my blue. If not, I'll add some of the green. I have tons of it. Um, so I'm just gonna take any color. But I'm going with the blue. And I'm going to start right here in the corner. Now remember, this is the right side. Everything we do now with the border, we want to work on the right side. So into this corner, I'm going to do what I would normally do in corners after I join. I'm going to go up 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so I have a chain of 3. I'm going to go back into this and put 2 more clusters. Okay. 2 more clusters. So that's a cluster of 3. So when I'm hitting my corners, I'm going to react to my corners in the same way. Now for this border, I'm just going to put a single, not a single, 1 double crochet in every stitch. Okay, so we have the 3 stitches from the previous cluster, right? So that's 1, 2, and 3. And then this chain 1 space, it's going to get a double crochet. So I kept my corners the same by putting the cluster of 3 there. And on the cluster, we're going to work a 1 double above the double from the previous row. So each one of those doubles get 1 double, okay? And the chain 1 space is going to get a double crochet. Now we're going to work this just like that all the way around till we get back to this point. This piece will lead us all the way around, up around our hood, all the way back to this piece. Double crochets, just 1 single double crochet in every stitch. Now I'm going to work mine all the way around till I get back there. Other than if I run into any spots that I feel the need to look different than this, that you would do something different, I will let you know. Now I wanted to come in. Now this is where we started, the point in the back, and we worked that like a corner, and then we just double crocheted all the way along here. Now, when you get to the first join space, where you have joined 2 of the granny squares together, you have 2 corners here. This is the join space. 2 corners here. You're just going to go into 1 corner, double crochet, and into the next corner, and double crochet, and keep going. And when you get to join spaces, you're not doing anything there. You will just keep going. Now, that's the first join space. Now, when we get to this corner, we will have to treat this corner like a corner, and we will go in there and make another corner in that corner. So once I have gotten all the way around my whole piece and I'm gotten back to this corner, what I want to do is complete the corner that's here. So I'm going to go in there and do 3 double crochet all in that same spot. Now remember, as we've gone around all of our corners, so once I have my 3 double crochets, I want to chain 1 just like I would in the corner, and I'm going to join this in with a slip stitch. Now, remember, we've gone all the way around. Every corner that is at a corner has gotten a corner, and our join spaces, which are here, just keep going across in our join spaces. And now I could just do another row of doubles on top of these doubles, but what I'm going to do is work front and back posts. Okay, I think I'm going to switch colors, only because I don't think I have enough of the blue to carry me on, so I'm going to pull through here and just blue out my way. And I'm going to finish off with my green. So I'm just going to take and add my yarn in this corner, and I think I'm going to put 2 rows of front and back posts. So I'm going inside my corner to add my yarn. I'm going back in. Now I'm going to chain up 3. So I have a chain of 3, which stands as a double. Now I'm going to go back into my corner and treat my corners the same. So all of the corners that we have already made are still going to go on like our normal corners. Now, piece has gotten a little big. So now, in order to create our front and back posts, what I'm going to do is this front one, I'm going to I'm going to go behind it. See, I put my hook behind that double crochet, and I'm going to grab my yarn and come and back out, and I'm going to make a double crochet. Now what I'm going to do is go, you see, I've gone behind this, and I'm going to go in front of the next double crochet, grab my yarn, come back out, and then I'm going to make another double crochet. Now I'm going to go with the next one. I'm going to go behind it, grab my yarn, come out, and make a double crochet. The next one, I'm going to go in front of it and make a double crochet. Next one, I'm going to go behind it, come out, and make a double crochet. In my next one, I'm going to go in front of it and make a double crochet. Now I'm going to go behind this one and make a double crochet, and I'm going to go in front of this one and make a double crochet. And we're just going to keep alternating between front and back posts. So behind it, and this one is going to go in front. And this one is going to go behind it. This one is going to go in front of it. And that's all I'm going to do, and I'm going to do that all the way around. When I come to corners, just like this corner, I will treat my corners just like we have been treating your corners. I'm not going to do anything special in the corners. The corners will get treated just like the corners have been getting treated. So I'm going to work all the way around doing front and back posts, alternating. And then on the next row, I'm just going to be maintaining it. So if I have a front post, I'm going to put a front post there. If I've gone behind and put a back post, then I'm going to put the same thing. So I'm going to do one row establishing and one row to carry out. And that is going to be that. So we've taken a simple 3-piece Ruana and we've thrown a hood on it. If you have chosen to throw a hood on it, and it's really done there. But if you want to go the extra step and put a border on it, I've shown you how to do that as well. So you can go around and work your border just in plain double crochets. You can do what I'm doing, which is, it's technically a ridge stitch. We're creating a ridge pattern here, or you can do something else. So we've got tons of different ways you can put a border around here. If you don't like either one of those, the just plain double crochets, or this front and back post creating a ridge stitch all the way around, then you know you can go with an option of your choosing. So I'm going to go ahead and do these 2 rows, and we're going to see how it turns out with the hood and with our border put around it. Because as you see, I absolutely love it with just the plain 3 pieces. So we'll see with all the extra frills how much we like that too. So you guys, this is the finished Twisted Retro Rona with a hood and with a simple border on it. Now I did not go around with the border 3 times. I just did it the 1 row of doubles, and then I did the 1 row of front and back posts. Because I wanted to keep it simple, I left it simple. So I didn't do much on the border. And just remember, this piece was made to be ultra simple, so it was made without the border. But I gave you the border because I know my people, you might want that, so I got to give it to you. Now, she is not going to take this lovely, lovely hairstyle down for me, but turn around to the back and pull up the hood so they can see how the hood looks. The hood is fabulous. Turn Tana to the side, even though it's going to look fun. Yeah, there you go. The hood is fabulous. Absolutely love the hood. I love my daughter even more because she won't take that bun down, but it still works. Simply fabulous. So you guys, let me know what you think in the comments section. Do we love it? Do we like it? Will we make it? As always, thank you for coming to the corner. As always, thank you for coming to the corner. Stop it. Go. As always, thank you for coming to the corner, and we will see you next time, okay?